because she was to me, she's a very humble lady. She gave up she went with God's people. She gave up her people to be with God's people. And she's very humble and impressed me. Very obedient, loved her mother-in-law, and was, she was loyal, very loyal. And she just had that love. And the time when her mother-in-law told her to do something, she told him to lay at his feet. Yeah. And it was just so, exactly. Just a godly woman. And to me, she's very, very godly, meek, lonely, and loyal.
I like her too. Anybody? Naomi? Okay, why?
Because she was from God's people and she took her.
Nice. She was.
I don't Rahab, and it seems kind of odd, but because of the fact that she extended that help on the wall, it was just like you think it was a strong lady. It's like, hey, she know all this is going around, but it's like, no, I can do this. I won't do this. Come what may. And so that was always just kind of impressed me.
I like it. Yes.
I remember if this mother had a name, but it was the mother with King Solomon, and he was going to cut the child off.
Yeah,
she gave the child off instead of having the child.
I like her. I just couldn't find me that she didn't have a name. Anybody else? So go. Hannah. Yeah.
Even through adversity and trial, through scorn and ridicule, she was faithful to God. She was persistent in prayer and eventually obtained the blessing that she desired, only to turn around and give it back to God. And I think that that's what we're called to do. This is the example for us today.
Anybody else?
I think of Abigail.
Yeah.
I think she was very wise and very caring and very patient.
Yeah. Extremely. Anybody? Mom, since we have the same Bible, Mom, can you?
When we were talking about this, we said, I said Jochebed. And I like Jochebed because, we think of that abortion as something new. It's not. That's what was going on when Moses was being born. And they were saying, midwives, when y'all have these babies, y'all just take them out and kill them. And when that mother saw that baby, she said, I don't care what the law says, it doesn't apply to me. And she took that baby, and she knew that God had given him to her, and she did. She could have been killed. Everything could have happened to her. But you know what? She said, come what may, I'm going to save this baby because God told me he's going to be something special. So, I just love her spirit of submitting to God and not doing what man's law said, but putting God's law above man's law. And then God just turned it around and gave her baby back. I tell you what, when you give God something, when you sacrifice and give it all to Him, He'll flip that thing and give it all back to you.
Yes, He will.
And that's a word for us about our children. If we give our children to God, He'll give them back to us. And they'll be nicely molded jewels that will benefit society. So I love Jochebed.
We made actually a list, and some of the others that were not mentioned, Bathsheba, Eve, the original mom, and I like Eve because she didn't have a mom to look up to. She was the first mom, and I thought that was pretty cool. We also listed Sarah, Mary, Elizabeth, Jezebel, Herodias, Hagar, and Naomi. Yeah, they were my Jezebel was the mom. We have a passage from Advent Home about mom.
Okay. Now, mothers, you have to promise that you're going to go and read. If you haven't read this in Advent song, And you know what, I smiled when I got Sam's book, because I accused her of having my book. But she has the same passages marked that I have marked. Mamas, and that's what you'll find. You'll find your words come out of your children's mouths. You need to be careful what you say, because your words that you speak to those children are going to. I hear it all the time with Joy and Zane, especially with your girls. They're going to speak the same.